Well, hello, sports buddies, and it's time to discuss the NBA playoffs. And we will do the review of the round one that happened. Lot of shocking results for Heat, Grizzlies, the Lakers, and also the Bucks because the scoreline doesn't speak for itself, but also speaks for itself. I mean, shocker hai the way these teams lose. The way these teams lost in the playoffs. But कुछ कुछ चीजें expected थी, कुछ कुछ नहीं थी. So that's how it is. But let's break down game after game. I mean, all the eight matchups. We'll not get into a lot of discussion, but we'll do the main. We'll pick up the main points. So let's start with the series that ended 4-0. That was the Thunder versus the Grizzlies. I mean, Grizzlies were no match to the Thunders, first of all, except the third game, where they had a 29-point lead, but what a comeback by the Thunder. I mean, even in the non-Shea minutes, they are a menace. And Jalen Williams, for sure, is one of the main catalysts to uh, lead the Thunder attack and also the defense. And he's the main man in the non-Shea minutes who has to be stopped. And Grizzlies had no answer for Jalen Williams. And why should I just appreciate Jalen Williams? They did not have answer for any of the Thunder players, be it the role players or the starting five, because it was very easy for the Thunder to get over the Grizzlies, and barring Ja Morant and Desmond Main, no other Grizzlies player actually showed the grit and determination to win. And also Ja Morant just became a meme factor and nothing else. So it was quite obvious that Thunder are gonna get a sweep in the series. And I'm pretty shocked about the Heat. I mean, they could not even win a single game, and this was the first time in the playoffs that they have lost all the games by almost 30-point margin. I mean, if this is how bad you are, then how come you are part of the playoff? That is the question. Heat need to check themselves, and Cavaliers, of course. I mean, the kind of run they had and the Thunder, it's pretty obvious that these two sides are gonna reach the NBA Finals. But of course, you cannot rule out the Warriors, the Nuggets, the Timberwolves, and also the Celtics, because we have seen what has happened in the round one, and anything can happen in the semifinals too. So uh, quite obvious series wins with OKC and Cleveland getting 4-0. I mean, the most shocking series loss was of the Lakers. I mean, they were not able to beat the Timberwolves, and they lost 4-1. 4 games to 1. They just won a single game. They could not match the physicality. They could not match, the offensive prowess. They had no answers for Jaden McDaniels. They had no answers to stop the run of, Timberwolves. They had no answers for Ant Man, because Ant Man, Superman, Batman, Lakers in 5. This was the Lakers in 5 that happened. You know, Shannon Sharp made a meme out of himself for the Lakers, and this is what the Lakers got. But I want to point out one thing, that JJ Redick should be questioned a lot and should be held accountable for the selection and the plays that he made in this playoffs. I mean, I don't know why and what problem he had with Jackson Hayes, but not playing him uh, is not acceptable. Yeah, he's not your regular center. He's not gonna give you like what 20 rebounds or 20 points, but he is a guy who, with his hustle plays, is gonna create menace in the opposition box and also in your opposition paint. Your paint area. So not playing Jackson Hayes did not make any sense, and over relying on Luka Doncic, uh, LeBron James, and Austin Reeves cost Lakers the series. no help from the role players apart from Rui Hachimura and some from Jared Vanderbilt. But I mean, the kind of season they had or the kind of run they had after the Luka trade was not replicated in the playoffs, which is quite surprising. But it was acceptable, expected, and people did say Lakers need a center, and they signed Alex Len. I don't know what Rob Pelinka and JJ Redick were thinking in bringing in Alex Len. I don't know why they brought him for what, because he was useless, he is useless, he will be useless. But let's see what happens in the off season. But I want to talk about the Bucks, barring Giannis Antetokounmpo. I mean, the Bucks are finished, and I don't know why the front office only went for Kyle Kuzma. I mean, I am pretty sure Giannis is gonna ask for a trade out. I mean, they have been piss poor, or we can say Pacers played with a lot more heart, lot more physicality, and lot more determination. Because losing 4-1 to the Pacers by the Bucks is not acceptable. But the kind of season the Bucks had, you would say, yeah, the series would have been favored towards the Pacers. But a 4-1 loss, nah. Even I'm shocked. Even I'm shocked. You have likes of Brook Lopez, you have likes of Damon Lillard who played, I guess, the last two games. You have Giannis, you have Kyle Kuzma, but even having all these guys, you are not able to beat the Pacers. I guess it's about grit and determination, and Pacers played better basketball than Bucks. They were more efficient than Bucks, so they deserve to win. Let's move on to the next one, which is the Boston Celtics and the Magic. I mean, Magic had a good run, but Magic need a good center. They have two guards who are really good. One is Franz Wagner, one is Banquero, but not a good playoff experience side, and still having a lot of youngsters who don't play at the level that we expect them to play in the playoffs. So this was highly expected of them to lose 4-1. And Celtics, of course, it was easy peasy for them. So kudos to Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown again. Reaching the semifinals of the NBA Eastern Conference. So let's see what happens in the round two. But losing 4-1, Orlando Magic, you gotta trade a center, and let's see what happens in the off season with them. Let's come down to Knicks and the Pistons. I mean, if you would have followed me since the start of the season, you would have seen that I had been saying, watch out for the Pistons, watch out for the Pistons, because they are a mixture of young guys and, experienced players who know how to win games and all that stuff. Yes, they made it really hard for the Knicks to grind out a 4-2 win. I mean, I was expecting Pistons to win in this series, but it is what it is. Always expect the unexpected, like I said in the starting of the video. And the Knicks uh, got the better of Pistons, but Pistons have a long way to go. I guess they're gonna be a menace again the next season, even though they had a really poor start to this season. They will be good. They will be good because they play with heart. They play with physicality. They want the ball more than you. They do the hustle plays. They do all the dirty stuff that you want a team to do just to win, to grind out a win, and they do that and they get a W to their name. So let's see how it pans out next season for the Pistons. But next, I don't think they stand a chance against the Celtics, and it's gonna be really easy for the Boston Celtics to reach the Eastern Conference Finals. Uh, Coming to the Western Conference Finals, only conference which had two 7-game series. I mean, Clippers and Nuggets was the most exciting series of the whole NBA playoffs. till now this season. I mean, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. There were many a times when Clippers had the better of the Nuggets, but because Nuggets have been a well-knit team for the past 3 or 4 years, they know how to grind out a victory and get a W to their name. And of course, they have Joker, they have Jamal Murray, they have Michael Porter Jr., they have Christian Brown, they have Russell Westbrook. Too much of experience, too much of team bond. But I know for sure that they're going to find it difficult to defeat the Thunder in the semifinals. But they were finally able to grind out a win in the game that mattered the most and made it to Game 7. Hard luck to James Harden and Kawhi Leonard. But what a season for Ivica Zubac it was. And finally, he was when he was a Laker, all the Laker fans, including me, were having high expectation of him. And he finally played to the level that we all wanted him to play in the purple and gold. But we are glad that he did in the Clipper jersey because yeah, we do hate the Clippers, but I don't hate the players. So, uh, good for Ivica Zubac, and I hope he comes back stronger the next season and helps Clipper reach another playoff because it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for them also the coming season. You know, let's talk about the Rockets and the Warriors. I mean, the Warriors were cruising at one point, and then Rockets made a comeback to make it 3-3 and force a game 7. But losing one side of the game 7, again, it comes down to experience and all because uh, they had the play of Jimmy, they had the play of Curry, they had the play of Draymond Green, they had Jonathan Kaminga. So, Warriors knew how to grind out a victory because, Rockets did not have that playoff experience. Alperin Şengün, Jalen Green. I mean, he had worst series ever. I mean, yeah, it's his first playoff, but scoring 7, 8 points per game, just managing to score 30 points in one of the 7 games is not acceptable of his standards. But it has been that kind of a season for Jalen Green and the Rockets, and that's how they have done this season. But finishing second in the Western Conference is highly commendable, and they did pose Warriors a lot of challenge and threat, but they weren't able to cross the final hurdle, the final game. And so we have Steph Curry against Ant Man, and now I'm rooting for Ant-Man because he has been a giant superstar slayer for the past 2 or 3 seasons. So let's see what happens in the semi-final. But that's it from the review of the quarterfinals in each of the conferences. Do put in your comments that who do you think would play the Eastern and the Western Conference finals, and whom do you think would be the ultimate champion. For more such videos, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And bye bye.